The name, image, and likeness for college athletes. Is it out of control? It is turned into big money. You like it? You don't like it? Is it right? Is it not right? Well, we're going to break it all down, name, image, and likeness, with our sports guru, the sports guru, Philip Turner. I'm Sheila Smoot. The Sheila Smoot Show starts right now. Welcome into the Sheila Smoot Show. I am Sheila Smoot, and there's a lot going on. I mean, I'm just stunned by what the name, image, and likeness is. Name, image, and likeness. NIL, a big old small word. Yeah, a little word with a lot of money attached, a lot of things going on, but we all knew it was going to get to this. Players asking for these astronomical amounts of money. People transferring in the portal. For those of you who don't know what the portal is, it allows you to leave one school you're at and then go to another one all like twice a year. It's a lot going on. And you know who my expert is in this space? It is the sports guru, Philip Turner. Philip, how you doing today?
Pretty good. What's going on, Sheila?
I am doing amazing. As you know, this thing called the NIL, name, image, and likeness. First of all, how did this get started?
So it started in 1992. The Fab Five wanted to be paid for their jerseys. That's Chris Webber, Jalen Rose, and the like. They weren't able to basically even pay for extra things like dates at their college at Michigan. Ever the school was making millions off their jersey. That was the original NIL. It didn't happen. And then there was a massive lawsuit done by Ed O'Bannon, who played for UCLA's championship team in 95 and 96 for EA Sports. EA Sports had a basketball as well as a football game and used the players' likeness on the game. The game made almost $1 billion and didn't get any money for it. So that lawsuit was just settled, I think, 2021. And that's when the beginning of this madness NIL has started as we know it today.
Well, this big deal with, and that was a great explanation, by the way, of how it all originated. And I've always been a fan of having players get some sort of compensation, whether it's by putting money in a trust for later, whether it is getting additional medical insurance because these old injuries come back to haunt them later as they get older. So I've always been a fan of having some sort of compensation. In fact, when I was at Michigan State, a very, very big man on campus, and I ain't going to call his name, but he went on to play in the pros, would always ask me, was kind of a jokester, asking me about my pizza. And at night, I'm thinking they get training table, they get all this grand things that regular students didn't get. And I realized as he kept doing that at his height and in what he did, and training table wasn't enough. I mean, everybody wants a midnight snack, but this guy probably wanted 2 or 3 of them. He couldn't afford it. I never thought about it like that. So that's when I started saying these guys ought to get some kind of stipend. They couldn't work in the summer like I always worked in the summer. So there were some things that they had to do to stay active so they could get ready for the season. But now, what is going on when Tennessee says, we're not doing that. We're not giving this particular player $4 million to start at quarterback at Tennessee. And some people say he's not that good. Talk to us about Nico.
Now, he did have some great throws against Alabama, and they beat Alabama. But this guy's unproven. We need to get back to the basics. He signed a contract. He was a redshirt freshman. It was $8 million for 3 years. So basically, it's $2.5 million after the taxes. So they gave him this contract before he was even proven. So now he sees the guy at Michigan, Bryce Underwood, get almost $5 million before he even played it down. He was the number 1 quarterback in the country behind Keelan Russell, who went to Alabama. Arch Manning is getting $6.5 million a year at Texas. So he's looking at these things. However, Tennessee didn't win anything. And I don't believe in rumors as things of that nature, but they were saying that he started to sit out the playoff game because he wanted to get more money. Now that's ridiculous.
And this is ridiculous. That is just ridiculous. You are there to play sports, number one. Number one, you were recruited as an athlete, not as a football mogul or a basketball mogul. I mean, you weren't recruited to be, getting 20 million a movie, right?
Eight and $8 million a year, $8 million for 3 years, you could live the rest of your life off of that, even if you didn't make the pros.
Mm-hmm.
And people are taking a chance on this. Now, I agree in the NIL, for example, people have heard me before.
Mm-hmm.
Musicians, artists, and theater majors, they can go and do professional plays and still keep their scholarship.
Right.
The musicians, like I was a musician in college and I was able to play with the symphony and still was paid. It wasn't like that, but they didn't revoke your scholarship. So every person has a right to get some type of money. But the original concept has been forgotten because it's really not name, image, and likeness. It is what have you done for me lately now. It's not the same type of thing. So these guys are getting paid just because of they don't even they're getting a lot of endorsements. So there's nothing wrong with endorsements. But the general thing is, I think you have to perform, and this is my personal opinion,
Mm.
Sheila.
You have to perform. That's a good one.
When I went to Birmingham Southern, the Birmingham Southern is gone now,
Mm-hmm.
but I had to make at least a 3.0 to keep my scholarship. If I
Right.
didn't make a 3.0, I would lose my scholarship. Just
Right.
like these NIL people, kids, not saying if they get injured, that's something else. But you should at least be able to, it should be incentives like a running back, 500, 600 yards, that's average. You can't do that. It almost be like workman comp. They're going to regulate it in 2026. But for right now, it's out of hand. And we're going to get to Chad Baker Mazar in a minute. But this thing is getting ridiculous, Sheila.
It is very ridiculous. And let me go into the whole thing with Auburn. They're signing now wanting to go to Kentucky, but you already signed with Auburn. Tell me about that. Update me because to me, now you are not only in the portal, you are signing and now you're still being recruited. How does that work with trying to build a team as you know how competitive at least the SEC is?
One thing the SEC has done, if you're on a certain team in the fall, I think with football, you can't go in the portal in the fall.
Right.
You have to wait till the spring. Now with Chad Baker Mazar, he was very fortunate to be picked up by Auburn. He was a nobody. Basically, I think he played in Northern Florida,
Mm-hmm.
from Dominican Republic. He has a. I'm not. Let's don't. I'm not trying to down the player, but as you know, he has had an attitude, anger management issue in his play. As
Mm.
last year against Yale, he got thrown out the game in the NCAA tournament first round. I.e., Auburn lost that first round game because they needed him. Now he's done better in the second half of the season this year, but I truly believe he would have been a captain next year for Auburn. He would have been an important player. But now we are hearing these are not rumors that Kentucky has offered him an NIL deal. He's in the transfer portal with a do not contact label. Let me explain what that means. It's like you put do not disturb on your phone. Same thing for the transfer portal. So that basically means you've already talked to another school and you're probably going there. And Kentucky's been kind of slick because they got a player from Alabama too,
Mm-hmm.
Muhammad Diabate, who would have been a starter this year. And I don't feel sorry for these coaches making $5, $7, $10 million a year. Just like Baylor, their whole team left. Now Baylor, y'all might remember a couple of years ago, they won the national championship. People
Right.
forgot that in
Yeah.
2022. Just like Alabama, they have three players left, but somehow Nate Oates does a good job and we're getting more players. Now Auburn has been very strong in the portal. I didn't mean to
Mm-hmm.
go down this road, but they've got four of the top 20 transfer portal players alone. If Pettiford comes back, I think they have Denver Jones. I don't. They have a couple of players that are coming back, but I'm very shocked. Bizarre would take a little more change over the Shield because he's 25 years old. Let's be honest, and we
Yeah, he's like 25. He might need to take all the money he can get.
so, but still, as loyal as Auburn has been to him, and I think these things don't change. He'd be kind of person like Andrew Zhao when he got injured.
Mm-hmm.
He got offered $300,000 a year to do telephone lines, and
Mm-hmm.
that's in his book. I'm just not saying talking off the top of my head. So Auburn would have taken care of him the rest of his life, probably.
I would feel some kind of way too if I was a booster. I'm like, Wait a minute now. Didn't we? A deal is a deal, but you're talking about.
And I know that some legislation is coming in 2026 about this, and it's probably be a salary cap because they're treating it like a professional
Yes, they should.
teams. They have GMs in college. Who's heard of general managers in college? That's wild. So Alabama, Notre Dame, so all the teams are getting these guys now. They're not coaches; they're known as GMs to fix the numbers, to get the numbers correct as far as how much they're paying different teams. Now, for example, a guy is going to BYU. He's a top basketball player in the country. His name is AJ Gazans or something like that.
BYU, Brigham Young University, Utah.
This guy's going to probably be paid almost $8 million a year because he's from that area. Danny Ainge, different people who are
Yeah.
affiliated with Utah went to BYU.
Yeah, there's a network. There's a
When
network.
they finally do the salary cap like football, and there's nothing wrong with that because in life, every job has a salary cap. It's almost, unless you're just extraordinary, everybody's not extraordinary. So that's going to help the NIL. And let me say this, as much as I love Alabama football, because they did not make the playoffs, they said they had a loss of between 15 and $20 million last year with the NIL if you add everything up. Now I can believe that.
Okay. Where do we go from here with this NIL deal? I mean, we were all big fans of it. I'm still a big fan of it. Where do we go? What's here? What is on the table? I know legislation's been talked about. Salary caps have been talked about. I'm kind of liking some of this money you don't need to get right away. It needs to be in a fund. That's where I am. You get a percentage. And that's what I'm looking at, deferring some of this money so you can live off it, because the stuff they're buying with their NIL money, like $5,000 sweatsuits, I mean, but it's a kid with money. It's a kid with money. A broke kid that now has money, whether they're an athlete or not, is going to spend money. If it's $100 and your kid is not used to having $100, Philip, they're going to spend it and they're going to blow it. I mean, that's just that part of the DNA at that age group. Where do we go from here, though, with these kind of athletes who are making this kind of money?
As you mentioned, even regular college students, when they get on campus, and I was guilty of this, to give them access to all these credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get out of college about 2 or 3 years later, their score is messed up. So
Right.
I think financial literacy should be tied in with this. They should have
Oh,
a
good.
financial advisor, just like they are starting to have mental health counselors. All
Mm-hmm.
this should be mandatory for this type of thing. And I'm not saying they should have to go to counselor per se, but these kids have no idea what's going
None.
on and what's going to happen by the time they're 25.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to have a dime because they're not saying anything about IRS, because IRS is not saying anything now, but they're gonna ding them in a couple of years. This is new, and they're not going to have the money to pay for it. As you know, maybe 1% or 2% of all college players actually make the pros.
Well, nobody's trying to go to the pros immediately now, because why would you be trying to go to the pros immediately if you're knowing you're not going to get in the NBA? You're not even going to get in the combine for football. You're not even going to get in the draft. Why not make all you can while you're in college? But I'm like you, Philip. This stuff they're going to blow this money. They're already blowing it. I can name 2 or 3 athletes I've heard of that they just, it was not even the money that we're talking about with Tennessee's quarterback or any of the others we discussed earlier today. Gone. The money is gone. And not to mention, you need to pay your taxes on that money. I mean, there's a whole world out there they don't know. And I'm very angry that these big time agents have gotten again a hold of these kids before they can have a real true college experience. So you got the last word on this. NIL, what's up next?
We'll probably have a salary cap on these teams. It might not be individually, but like NFL teams, they have a salary cap. So only to be fair, like the SEC, they're going to get 20 million. So that's going to alleviate a lot of this back and forth and transferring, because if a team already has their people, you're going to say where you are. And I can't see making $2 million being a bad thing, being 19 and 20 years old. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, in Wall Street, my favorite movie, where Gordon Gekko said, "Greed is good."
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going on with these guys, with these daddies and these uncles and these handlers. Greed is good, but it's not good because it's going to affect them in the long run. And I would like to see how well Nico is going to do at UCLA. He took like a $4 million loss over the 3 years to go there. He's only going to get
Well,
1.5.
greed, like you said, greed sometimes can be good. And when the former Tennessee quarterback left his school, um, his stock went down. So kudos to, I hate to say it because I'm such an Auburn fan, to kudos to Tennessee for saying, you don't run this program, we do. You don't run it like that. We love your talent, but guess what? There's always somebody coming in behind you. He's going to be the next Kaepernick if he's not, uh, because they will blackball you in this industry. They will blackball you, and that's why his money is now going to be a lot lower. Because I will say, I'm glad that people are standing up for what is right and doing this right now. And again, I am not a Tennessee fan, y'all, but I'm an Auburn fan. But and yeah, yeah. So this good for the schools to say enough is enough, and for the boosters and all the people who love college athletics because it's the art of the game, not the art of the deal. The sports guru, Philip Turner. His show is I Got Next. He'll be coming on as well. We might have to get you to join us more often. I knew on the dynamics of knowing what's really going on, name, image, and likeness. Man, it's not even name, image, and likeness. It's all about the Benjamins, as they say, all about the money. Philip, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure having you join us on the Sheila Smoot Show. And we'll look forward to having you often on the show, giving us a little bit more perspective in these areas. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you.
You too. Coming up next, we got to introduce you to this young lady. And she is, I'm going to call her the comeback kid. And she is on her way to some great things, doing the backstroke. Don't go away. Here we are with the consumer tip of the week. Yes, you're about to get smooted on this one. Major warning signs in an email. You know, you're getting all these emails and they're horrendous. An unfamiliar greeting. Somebody that has never reached out to you before. Hey, Sheila, and spells your name wrong. Grammatical errors. If there's a grammatical error, misspelled word, that email is probably wrong. That is a warning sign that an email contains malware. Email addresses and domain names don't match. Unusual content or a request. These often involve a transfer of funds or request for login credentials. Urgency, act now, immediate action required. Don't do that. So what's going on now is I ordered from online, and as soon as it starts to ship, it says, hey, your package is stuck at the warehouse. Call us at UPS, whatever. So you do that. All they want is your information. Do not, absolutely do not open that, delete it. So that's the consumer tip of the week. You've been smoothed. Welcome back into the Sheila Smoot Show. I'm Sheila Smoot. I just have this wonderful guest, and I'm honored to introduce her to you. Her name is Emma Crider, and she has a very, very, very significant story for those of you who understand about, you know, going through trials and tribulations and still coming out on top when you think you're not, or you think you're sinking and you gotta swim. Right. Hi, Emma. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Good. Folks, Emma is a swimmer. She is a senior at Shades Valley High School, and she took up swimming. And first of all, Emma, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're a teenager, you were a swimmer, all of that. But how did it all start with this swimming career that you have?
Well, I live really close to the Trustful Y, and when I was really little, my mom put me in swim lessons and she taught me how to swim there.
Mhm.
And one of the lifeguards told me that I should join the swim team. And when I was about 4 years old, I joined the swim team, and I've just stuck with it ever since.
And it started from there. So your mom, congratulations to her for having you get into something to keeping you occupied. So you have developed this skill, but you had a car accident. When did you have that car accident?
January 6, 2024, I got into a car accident.
Oh, wow. And you have been swimming up until that, got in there. Did it impact you as a champion swimmer during your high school years at all?
It did. I was trying my best to make this really important meet to me, and I have missed the time cuts for it a bunch by like point two, and I was going to try to go to it last year, and then I wrecked my car and I couldn't go because I couldn't really swim very well for a while, and I was like getting back into the swing of things. But it's okay. I did not. I stuck with it, so it ended up all working out.
It all worked out to the point where you just won the Bryant Jordan Award for Scholar Athletes that have overcome challenges and things in their life. Talk to me about that award. That's a very prestigious award for those of you in the audience who don't understand. It's the Paul Bear Bryant, that's the Alabama side, and the Sugar Jordan, that's the Auburn side. And these two gentlemen, back in the day, came together with this award to give a scholar athlete. So it's all about the academics and the athletics, right?
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
I was really honored that my principal selected, because you select one person at every school, and then out of those winners, you pick a regional winner and then the overall winner. And I was really honored that my principal picked me, and I was really thankful when I got the letter in the mail saying that I was one of the regional winners. And then I just got to go and experience that and be in the same room with all the incredible athletes in Alabama.
It's a big deal, and I'm sure it's big for your school, your parents, and all the things that you were striving to do, um, and what you're going to do. So congratulations. Now you swim what race? Which race are you?
I swim the 100 and 200 backstroke.
Okay, talk to me about the backstroke because that's if you know when I see the backstrokes, Emma, I feel like you're just so relaxed. You're stroking back and you're going back. It just seems like a relaxing race, unlike the butterfly where you ooh ooh ooh. Talk to me about why the backstroke.
Well, my mom told me when I was younger, because I was scared that I was going to hit my head on the wall because you can't see the wall in backstroke. And she told me when I was younger that if I hit my head on the wall, she'd buy me ice cream. So every single race ever since then has been ramming into the wall. And backstroke just kind of stuck with me. And I just feel more comfortable when I'm swimming backstroke because I kind of have the pool mapped out in my head at this point because I've been doing it for so long, but I just love backstroke.
Yeah, I'm telling all you parents out there who's hearing Emma, the kids that you're listening, if you're up this early, listen to your parents because her mother is the truth. Her mother, that at 4 year old, if you swim and then if you do the backstroke, don't hit the, you get an ice cream. It's still about the ice cream for me, Emma. Still about the ice cream. That's big. That's a really good story about for me. You might want to listen to your parent every now and then, at least, because you have become a very successful swimmer. And in this area, we don't have many swim teams in this area, do we? Not as many as I thought we probably should have.
No, Jefferson County. I'm pretty sure Shades Valley is the only swim team in Jefferson County for high school swimming.
Wow, does that floor you? Does that for those kids who say why, and you go to the Y and you go to rec swimming, or you're just going to a community pool or in your backyard? What kind of advice do you give these folks who say, "What? I might want to swim one day." What? How does it work? What's the training like? What is the commitment to a swimmer's program?
Well, swimming is it's a really unforgiving sport, and it's literally just you looking at the black line during practice. So you really have to be committed and you have to really love it for it to be worth it for you. And I would just say like find your people and stick with them. Like I am swimming because I love swimming, but on my swim team, I love who I swim with. I love my coaches. I love all my teammates, and they just uplift you. Just surround yourself with good people that will uplift you the whole time.
Okay, great. Um, so now what's next for you? You're champion, what you're ranked in the state at a high level. What's your ranking?
I'm not sure. I'm top 30 though. I'm not sure what number though.
Okay. But you're also getting a scholarship. Talk to me about who came a calling to you.
I emailed Eastern Illinois in about July, and I wasn't expecting an email back at all because my times weren't really updated because of my car accident.
Mhm.
And Coach Scott emailed me back in about October and told me that he loved to have me. And I went and I visited the school, and I loved it. I loved the girls. I loved Coach Scott, and I committed to Eastern Illinois. And I'm very grateful that he's giving me a little trip money to go with it.
After the accident, did you think you were going to get a scholarship? Did that hamper where you were? Did it slow you down any? And now you're just feeling just overjoyed because you've gotten pretty much what you had. Your probably your parents and your mom were saying, "Hey, you could do this." After that, you bounced back, and now you're going to college. I know that was for you to pick up that phone. You still feel like you had it. You felt like you could make it.
Yeah, after my wreck, I was really disappointed because my dream has always been to swim D1 in college. But the whole time, and Mom, if you're listening, yes, you were right. The whole time, the whole time, my mom was just telling me in my ear, like, you're more than your accident, and you can do it. This has been your goal since you were like a young child. Like, you're gonna be okay. You can get past it.
Yeah, it's injuries are different, but you are the comeback kid, and we want to salute you for all that you're doing and taking the time out of your day and your practice and all the things that teenagers have to do to talk to the Sheila Smoot Show and to talk to me personally about your journey. Because guess what, Emma, it is just now beginning. We are proud of you. We're proud that you are holding this sport in high regard, and we hope more folks join their local teams at their school or start one for the ones that don't have it. It's time to get started. So I hate to say it, but when it came to sinking or swimming, I guess you swam, right?
Yes, just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. Emma, thank you so much for joining us. I certainly appreciate your time today and keep us up to date. I know a lot of people follow my show. They want to keep you posted. So I expect for you to call us when you do your first meet out there in Eastern Illinois. I said, don't forget, it is going to be cold. So take your parka. I'm from Flint, Michigan originally. It is cold, but guess what? It feels good, especially when you have a heated pool. So make sure you get a heated pool. Make sure that's in your NIL deal.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Emma, good luck to you and your journey.
Thanks. Thank you. Bye.
Well, thanks to our special guest, the sports guru, that is DA sports guru Philip Turner, and also my special guest today, Emma Crider. We are very proud of her and wishing her all the best. Remember, don't be a sucker, be a consumer. I'm Sheila Smoot, and we'll see you next week.